Hi everyone, welcome to this week's wellbeing session. We're going to be doing chair yoga. So make sure that chair is steady and safe, preferably with no arms, so you can have that swivel movement. And listen to your body. Any pain, always stop. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch. This is supposed to be enjoyable and beneficial, not detrimental. Okie dokie, so we're sitting on our chair with 4 points on the floor, no wheels, and we're coming about an inch or so away from that backrest. Our feet are hip distance apart, our ankles are in line with those knees. We're facing forward with those toes, our chest is facing forward. Let's just practice some breathing. We're going to pop the hands on the legs, breathing in through the nose, and then breathing out through the mouth like we're blowing out a candle. Breathing in through the nose and then breathing out. As you breathe in, I want you to visualize growing tall, that string pulling you high. And then breathing out, I want you to start to engage those core muscles so we're nice and strong, yeah? Breathing in up to the sky. And then breathing out nice and strong. Contract those corset muscles. Let's let the arms hang heavy. Inhale, take the shoulders up to the ears. And on the exhale, let's let them drop. And again, inhale up. And exhale, drop. One last go like that. Breathing in high. And then breathing out, drop. Let's pop those hands back on those legs. Let's do a few little head turns. Inhale up tall. On the exhale, let's just turn the head to look over one shoulder. And then inhale, bring it back to face forward. Over to the other side, breathing out. And breathing into center. Once more each way. Exhale, look over the shoulder a little bit further. Inhale, front. Last one, breathing out. And breathing in. Let's drop the chin to chest and the out breath and just breathe through your nose. Let yourselves hang heavy. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck, continuing to breathe through the nose. Open the mouth. Hanging nice and heavy. I can feel that all down the centre of my back between those shoulder blades. And then only if you feel comfortable to do so. On the next out breath is roll our ear over towards one shoulder to open the side of the neck. And then breathing in, we roll the chin through the middle. Breathing out over to the other side. Hanging heavy over there. Inhale, middle. Exhale, roll. Once more like that. Breathing in. And breathing out. On the next roll, we're going to leave that head hanging heavy over towards our shoulder and just hold it there. And again, optional if you feel happy to do so. We're just going to nod the chin and just be aware of that different stretch in your neck. So maybe a bit more around the back of the neck as you nod your head up and down. And then let's change that to a shake of the head. And maybe feel that wrapping sensation of that stretch more around the front. Let's do one more of those. And then when you're ready, we're going to breathe in, roll the chin to middle. Breathe out, roll into the side, and let's hold it there. Again, let's do those little chin nods. Dipping the chin down and lifting it up. So you might find that one neck, you've got one. One of the sides of your neck is a bit more tight than the other. And then let's change it to a shaking of the head. Once more. And then breathing in. Let's roll the chin back to centre. On the exhale, engage the core. Lift that heavy head back up. Inhale. Grow into the sky. Give yourselves a little shake up. Let's warm up those arms, okay? So let's pop our fingertips on our collarbones, take a breath in. We're going to try to, don't worry if you can't, meet the elbows in front of us. And on the exhale, we take them round and down. So inhale up, exhale round and down. Once more, inhale up, exhale round and down. Let's lengthen those arms, breathing in, let's take it up to the sky. Join the palms together, and on the exhale, let's draw that thumb through to heart center. And then flick off that tension. Breathing in, palms together, breathing out down through the middle. And flick, inhale, last one. And then breathing out, take it down. And flick. Fabulous. Let's go into a forward fold, okay? So inhale up high. And on the exhale, engage that core. We're going to just roll ourselves over those thighs. Coming into a forward fold. Let's let ourselves hang heavy for a few moments. I can feel that on my lower back. Just really let myself hang heavy. Inhale. Exhale, engage those core muscles. Pushing through the heels. Inhale. Reaching back overhead. Palms together. Exhale through to heart center. Lovely stuff. Give yourselves a little shake. Let's take those hands out in front of us into prayer position. And on the exhale, let's open up our heart as far as we can, fingertips to fingertips. And then inhale, bring it back to center. So just warming up that middle. Inhale, bring it back to center. Once more. Last one. Bringing it back to centre. Let's just let those arms rest for a moment on our legs. Give yourselves a little shake out. Let's do a cat and cow stretch. So I'll demonstrate from the side. Hands on thighs. Inhale, tall. On the exhale, we're tucking our tailbone, tucking our chin, rounding our back. Inhale, we're growing tall, lifting the chin to the sky. Exhale, scooping round. Inhale, up to the sky. Last one like that. Inhale, up. And then back into that neutral spine. I'll turn to face you. Right then. From here, we're going to go into our upper body workout. So we're going to do some prayer cactus waves, okay? So we're going to do that same starting movement that we did earlier. So we're going to inhale. Take the hands up high. Exhale into our cactus. Inhale to press. And then exhale to bring it back in front. Inhale up high. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, rounding into that curve of the spine. Palms in front. Let's do that 5 more times. Breathing in tall. Breathing out strong cactus. Elbows behind those chests, yeah? Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, round. Inhale up for 4. Exhale. Shoulders feeling a workout. Inhale. Rounding through. 3 more to go. Inhale up. Exhale. Open the chest. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, round in the back. 2 more. Inhale, tall. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, long. Exhale, rounding. Final one. Breathing in, up to the sky. Breathing out. Inhale, out. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, up to the top. And then exhale, thumb through to heart center. And let's just pop those hands on those legs. Give our shoulders a little breather. I could really feel that in the front of my shoulders. Give yourselves a little wiggle. Grab a drink whenever you need to as well, okay? So always remember that. So we're going to give the top half a little bit of a breather, and we're going to go into that lower half of the body. So we're just going to start with some calf raises, okay? So I'll demonstrate from the side so you can see what I'm doing. We're literally going to take a breath in, we're going to lift, and then exhale, ground ourselves back down, okay? So inhale up, and then exhale down. We're going to do 12 in total, okay? Off we go. Breathing in and out. In and out. So just getting that circulation, grounding ourselves. We've got 9 more. 8. 7. 6. So engaging that core, getting that core work on the out breath. 5. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Well done. So shooting myself back on the chair, go a bit too far forward. So from here, we're going to give ourselves a nice hug, okay? We're going to hug that knee up into our armpit. So on the exhale, let's give ourselves a big squeeze up towards our armpit, still sitting nice and tall for the time being. And we're just going to do some ankle circles in one direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then change direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's scrunch those toes up and then stretch them out. Scrunch and stretch. Last 2. Final squeeze. And then we're going to take that ankle and cross it over the knee of our other leg. And just let ourselves just fold into that figure 4, okay? So this might be enough for some of us. I can feel it straight away in those glute muscles, those hips, okay? So if you feel comfortable, just leave it here if it feels like it's enough for you. If you want to, we can fold forward and make that stretch a little bit deeper, okay? So taking a breath in, we think about growing tall. And then breathing out, we're going to keep our hands on our legs. We're going to engage our core. We're just going to lean forward a little bit, and you'll feel straight away that glute stretch increases, okay? So just holding it there for 5 breaths in and out. 4 and 3. 2. Last 1. Inhale, take yourself back up tall. Squeeze that knee and let's pop it down. Give yourselves a little shake and let's give that other knee a hug in. Breathing out, let's crunch it up. Let's do those 6 circles. So just rounding that foot, mobilizing the ankle. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Change direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Let's scrunch up those toes. We scrunch and stretch, scrunch and stretch. 2 more. Squeeze and out. Last 1. Let's take that ankle over the knee of the other side. And again, let ourselves fall into that figure 4. And again, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, hands on those legs for support. Inhale up tall. Exhale into that lean with a nice straight tabletop back. Sorry, not tabletop, diagonal back. Let's do 5 breaths in and out. 4 and 3. 2 breathing in and then breathing out. Let's bring ourselves face forwards. Inhale and then exhale. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And let's pop that foot back down. Right then, let's ground those feet back on the floor. Pop our hands on our hips. And we're going to do some hip circles, okay? So taking a breath in, starting position. On the exhale, we're going to roll ourselves forward. And on the inhale, we're bringing it back, okay? So exhale on the lean, belly button to spine. Inhale, let's do 3. And 2. Last one. Let's change direction. So exhale, round we go. Inhale up tall. 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Well done, guys. Right then. So from here, we're going to go into some warrior sequences, okay, just to finish off. So shimmying forward a bit more on that chair. Let's take our right leg out to the side and we're going to point our toes in the direction of our hips, okay? So we're holding it there. Take a breath in, arms up to the sky. And then on the out breath, we're just going to take our hands into our shoulder height. And we're going to turn ourselves to look towards those left fingertips, okay? So we're in our warrior 2. Hold it there. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Drop the right hand to the right thigh. Palm of the left hand up. Inhale. We go up into our reverse warrior. Really feel that opening in your left side. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in. And out. Once more in. And then exhale, back into that warrior 2. And then we're just going to turn our body and we're going to go into our side angle, okay? So holding it there. Breathing in and out. Once more in. And on the exhale, bring yourself face forward. Inhale. And then breathing out. Palms to centre, and then shimmy that leg back into the midline. Give yourselves a little sway from side to side. Let's do the same on the other side. So we're taking our left leg out this time. Toes are facing forward. Knees are in line. Knee is in line with that hip. Okay, breathing in. Let's hit the arms up high. On the exhale, we're rotating the waist, facing the right fingertips that are shoulder height. Holding it there. Inhale. And exhale. 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Breathing out, left hand to thigh, right palm up, inhale up and over. Hold it in that reverse warrior. Breathing in. And out. Inhale, grow through fingers. And exhale. Once more, breathing in. Exhale through the core, back up to warrior 2. Rotate. Inhale, lengthening the arms into that side angle. Holding it there. Breathing in. And out. Once more in. Exhale, back to centre. Inhale, palms together. Breathing out, thumb through to heart centre. And then shimmy that leg back in. Give yourselves a little wiggle. Give yourselves a little shimmy. Alright then, let's finish off with some cat and cow stretches, or just to demonstrate from the side. Hands on the thighs. Inhale up tall. Exhale, rounding through. Inhale, chin to the sky. And again, breathing out, rounding through. Inhale up. Once more, really rounding, opening up those shoulder blades. And then inhale up tall. Well done. Breathing in, let's take those arms overhead. And then breathing out, let's go. Inhale back up. So we're just swinging ourselves into that forward fold. Inhale back up. 2 more. Last one. Breathing in, palms together. And then breathing out into that heart. And well done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this week's session. If you have any questions, please not hesitate. I will see you soon. Take care.